Well, good morning. I just wanted to make a quick video of my mixing room. Unfortunately, I have to move, so this will all have to come down, and I just figured I'd make a quick video documenting it before I have to do that. This is a great room, and it felt really satisfying actually being able to go ahead and buy a bunch of absorption material, be it the Auralex Leonard bass traps in the corner. I have 6 of the fiberglass panels. You can't see, there's 3 of them. You're horizontal, and a vertical one behind the tapestry. And then the 2 floating clouds, which this was really cool to do, to actually be able to set up and hang these clouds. And you have one on the back wall. So this is the mixing position right in the middle of the room. And it's cool, you know, sitting here, you know, having the sound, you know, you're hitting foam, the cloud, the full treatment. I have never really had this nice of a setup before, so to be able to sit in the full, you know, tuned mixing position was really cool. I'd say, you know, going from just bedrooms and living rooms and wherever you can mix before to actually measuring the distance, you know, so the speakers are off the walls evenly and everything's triangulated. It's really cool. Normally, you know, in tuning a room, you're recommended to do a mixture of diffusion and absorption. And in this particular setup, I only did absorption, just because I didn't really know enough, and I wanted to just, you know, resolve any immediate, you know, short reflections. You know, the sort of clap test. You clap and you know, see if you can hear the clap bouncing off any of the walls or anything like that. And I actually solved that completely. You can clap anywhere in this room and there's no reflections, even with a glass window here. Yeah, this was really, really cool. I got some great sounds in this room, and really that was sort of one of the first things I was like, wow, this is a game changer, was just sitting in the center of the mixed position, sitting among the triangulated speakers, and listening to really, really good music, like Michael Jackson's Off the Wall, Toto, Tears for Fears. You can hear my cat outside. It just makes you want to listen to really, really good mixes. Kind of makes you think about how David Crosby said the best part about owning a nice acoustic guitar is it makes you want to play more. Having a nice setup like this makes you want to listen to really good mixes. AC/DC. Let me, what's the song? Let Me Put My Love Into You, Babe. Oh my god, sitting here, it rocks. Even music you haven't listened to in a long time, your head thinks of what's the best sounding music I can think of right now. So, in doing this, you know, both in finishing up my basement at home and this mixing room, I've come to the conclusion that, you know, between the absorption on the speakers, on the stands, and, you know, on the sub, I don't know if you can see that, but there's the ISO pad for the sub down there. I found that the 6 Pro panel for $1,000 is probably the best way to get a lot of coverage really quick, and you can't overdo it with bass traps. The other pro tip I'd recommend for people that are trying to set up their space with Auralex products like these Pro panels and such is that you might find used offers online, but the fact of the matter is these products are physically large. They don't weigh a lot, they're just large and cumbersome. And people will often list things without realizing how much it costs to ship them. So you might think you're getting a great deal buying some used Auralex products, but the fact of the matter is that your order is going to get canceled because they take it to the post office and realize that it costs to ship what they were selling for it, and it's not really worth it. So you really don't have a choice in a lot of situations unless you do local pickup. If you do local pickup, that's really the only way to buy this used Auralex stuff. But yeah, no, this was a great space. Significantly less treatment on the back wall than I would have expected. This is some generic foam. But these squares, I forget the exact name of this product, but the 1x1 squares, 2 inches thick. This really allowed me to make like a square shape where my ears would be for the immediate left and right. The speakers on the stands with the drivers aligned to your ear, and then equidistant, you know, in a triangle. This was really great. You know, going from just, you know, growing up mixing on computer speakers or whatever you had, or setting up some PA speakers and thinking, you know, just all that stuff, and then going to like, alright, let me spend some money and do this right. This was really cool. So, they're Yamaha HS8s. I don't know if you can see that, but there's the sub that goes with it. Same thing, Auralex diffusion panel to separate the sub from the floor. Just some microphones. But yeah, this really, really good sounding room. I think the next time I do a setup, I'm going to experiment with some diffusion, because admittedly, you know, there was times where, yeah, the room did sound a little dead, but the thing is, it sounded clean. And, you know, if you're doing this and you're saying, I can only afford the 6 Pro panels, you know, if you can, with those 6 Pro panels, destroy any flutter echo, then it's really, that's a great start. If you have a spare bedroom, any room really, you know, that's another thing too, is like, I've got a window right here that I don't even have blinds on. You can really take any room and make it better with a little bit of foam. This is some really good stuff. You know, you might be online thinking, you know, why am I going to spend all this money? You know, can't I just get some rock wool and make some panels yourself? And it's like, yeah, you're right, you can. But I bought all the Auralex stuff because, or Auralex, I can't pronounce things. I bought it because ultimately these are items with MSRP. You know, if you make a Pro panel yourself, it functionally will serve you. And depending on what materials you use, you know, like with these 2 clouds, for example, they might be too heavy to hang. So it really depends on what your home is, your room is, what your budget is, you know. And I say the MSRP because if I needed to, you can sell them. Or if you're trying to do something with insurance and insure space, you know, you can use that price point. But yeah, you know, M1 MacBook, just a little Avid Fast Track Duo interface, nothing fancy. I bought an SPL meter to mix in this room, just so that I know exactly where I'm mixing. I like to mix between 75 and 85 dB. So, yeah, and another thing too is just for your mental health and your sense of peace, no matter what you have going on in your life, the fact that you can come into a mixing room and there's no garbage everywhere, there's no bills, there's no, you know, nothing's chewed up, nothing's broken. You can come into your room, it's nice and clean, and you can enjoy mixing music, listening to music, just having some time in a room that smells nice,